ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै सदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतश्वे नमः। गौरसच्चरित्रामितनिधि गौरं सर्वं स्तुवे गौरेण प्रथितं रस्य भजनं गौरं सर्वं स्तुवे। गौरस्ति कृपालुरात्रिन परो गौरस्य भृत्यस्य भवाम् गौर गौरमचरामि भगवान् गौर प्रभु रक्ष माम्। जयतां सुतपङ्गुर्मम मन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्पदाम्भुजो श्रीराधा मदन्मोहन। भक्त्या विहीनयपराधलक्ष्यै क्षिप्तस्य कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि तं शरणं प्रपन्न वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Welcome all devotees in this Hari Katha session performing Braj Mandal Parikrama in a very special way, hearing and speaking and remembering Brajadham. So many of you has already been to Brajadham Parikrama, and while we discuss or while we hear Hari Katha, you can go with your mind there and remember all these places of pastime when under the guidance of Srila Gurudev we used to visit all these places. So I got a list of complete Brajmandal Parikrama where all our devotees went, and he started with uh, Kaliya Daha and Prabodhanand Saraswati Thakur Samadhi, Shri Sanatan Goswami Pad Samadhi, Shri Madan Mohan Temple, and the last was Ashtasakhi Temple. This was the places of pastimes where devotees went under the guidance of Srila Gurudev. Now, each and every topic is very elaborate. I asked my devotees, my managers, and they said, no time barriers. You can go 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. So be ready, yeah? Okay, no, I'm just saying. Maybe by hearing this, many devotees will quit. They say, okay, bye. We can't spare so much time. Anyhow, Kartik month is also known as Shri Damodar month. And in this month, we all sing Damodar Ashtakam every day. So maybe in the end of class, we can all sing Damodar Ashtakam every day. So let us start. We pay obeisances to Gurudev, his Bhajan Kutir, Shri Gopinath Bhavan, and we all, let's go. Start walking with our mind. And here we go. We're already at Kalyada. This is the speed of mind. In 1 minute, we arrive there. Paying obeisances to, first of all, before paying obeisance to that Kalya Daha, we pay obeisance to Shri Prabodhanand Saraswati Thakur Samadhi, and paying obeisance there, we did parikrama 4 times we give some donation there and we ask mercy from Shri Pradhan Saraswati Thakur to bless us so that we can reside in Vrindavan Dham. Shri Pradhan Saraswati Thakur was uncle of Shri Gopal Bhatt Goswami. There are 6 Goswamis. Vande Rupa Sanatano Bhatt Jugo Shri Jiva Gopal Kau. When Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he went to South India, he met Venkat Bhatt and other Vaishnavas from Sri Sampradaya. And he also saw a small boy, Shri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, who is eternal associate of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There, when Mahaprabhu was spent 4 months in a rainy season, Mahaprabhu used to speak some katha, and this small young boy, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, he used to honor the remnants of Mahaprabhu and used to massage him and serve him. And there was another brother of Shri Venkat Bhatt, who later on known by the name Prabodhanan Saraswati Thakur. He got so much renunciation with the association of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he came to Shri Vrindavan Dham. The true renunciation, not the false renunciation. What is the difference between true and false renunciation? False renunciation means many people, they have fight at home and they say, okay, I will leave you and I'll go to Vrindavan Dham. Entering Vrindavan Dham not with the mood of service to Krishna or to get absorbed in the moods of Rajadham, but only for circumstantial, some disagreement, disappointment, some fights and all. And okay, let's go to Vrindavan Dham. I will get apartment there and will stay there. But what happened to them? After staying for some days, they say, oh, I can't stay here. Monkeys are troubling me. People are not nice here. They are so rude, they are loud, and they come back. This is dry renunciation. But those who, no matter which part of the world they live, if they really associate with sadhu in a bona fide way, then renunciation is bound to come. Yeah. What is the meaning of association? Association means to adopt someone's lifestyle in our lifestyle. This is called association. Not just hearing Hari Katha is association. Not only hearing Hari Katha is association. But to associate with that person means to associate with our acharyas by adopting their lifestyle. By hearing some of their life history, we get so much inspiration. Oh, I also want to become like this. Then the association comes. Shri Pradhan Saraswati Thakur, when he associated with Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became totally renounced and he lived in Vrindavan Dham, remembering the pastimes of Mahaprabhu and absorbed in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna day and night. And he wrote some books. Some books which are very, very important and very deep. Shri Radha Ras Sudha Nidhi, very important book. He wrote all so in depth the glories of Radharani. This whole book, the shlokas only glorifying Radharani, the predominance of Radharani over Krishna. Yeah. He also wrote Shri Vrindavan Mahimamrit. That means the glories of Shri Vrindavan Dham. If you read that book, and by reading this book, and then with this vision, following the footsteps of Acharya like Pradhan Saraswati Thakur, Mahajanaji Gata Sapantaha, following their footsteps, After reading this book, when we go to Vrindavan Dham, we'll see uh, the vision is totally different. Then we don't see fights or garbage or monkeys or things like that. These things are external. But then we'll see something different, the transcendentalness of Shri Vrindavan Dham. In that book, Sri Prabodhana Saraswati Thakur explains, see, when we are discussing this, we are actually remembering him. And those who've been there, just imagine we are just sitting, just that veranda outside his samadhi, and we are, glorifying him. So in that book, he wrote the glories of each and every creeper, flower, the trees of Vrindavan Dham. Every speck of dust of Shri Vrindavan Dham have some emotions, transcendental in nature, not ordinary. They are not ordinary. They are serving the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in their own ways. Even the animals of Vrindavan Dham is so important. The seasons which appears in Vrindavan Dham is different from the seasons from rest of the world. Because every season, when I say every season, I was told by devotees to go slow because they're translating. There are 6 seasons in India, especially the north part of India, especially Shri Vrindavan Dham. They state 6 seasons. Every season goes for 2 months in peak, in extreme. Summer, winter, autumn, Hemant, Vasant, all these are 6 different seasons. But in Vrindavan Dham, all the 6 seasons comes in one day. Not according to their desire, not according to when they want to come, but according to when Krishna wants them to come. When Krishna wants them to come? According to the favorable circumstances of Krishna. For example, when Krishna wants to take shower, he wants to take bath, Yashoda Maya is bathing Krishna, then summer season comes. We all feel good when there is summer and we want to put more and more water. Yeah. When Krishna wants to eat, the food cooked by Yashoda Maya, or especially when Radharani cooked for Krishna, in hundreds of ovens, Radharani is cooking so many preparations for Krishna. And when Krishna is just about to eat, then winter season comes. In cold season, we like to eat more. When Krishna dressed himself and is going, taking his cows for grazing, then Hemant season comes, autumn. Similarly, other seasons. So in one day, 6 seasons. Who's giving us this information? Shri Prabodhana Saraswati Thakur. So all these seasons, ritus, are serving Krishna with a favorable mood, according to what Krishna needs and when. So what to speak of leaves and creepers? Even the speck of dust of Vrindavan Dham, and even the snake of Vrindavan Dham is serving Radha and Krishna. How snake is serving Radha Krishna? When Radharani is in Man, sulky mood, and Krishna is trying to pacify Radharani, Radharani is running and Krishna is running after Radharani. Ra-dha. Dha means dhavit, running after. Who runs after Krishna? Radharani, sorry. Krishna's running after Radharani. Yeah. And when she's running so fast, she sees a snake there. And by seeing a snake, she gets scared. And she runs back for help and protection. And she embraces Krishna. In this way, snake helps in the union of Radha and Krishna. Jai Jai Radha Krishna Yugal Milan. Yeah, even snake is happy. Then all the birds, parrot, peacock, cuckoo bird, they all the time melodiously they're singing the glories of Radha and Krishna. You see, these are animals, but with fully consciousness and only with the mood of service Radha and Krishna. So Vrindavan Mahimamrit, the glories of Shri Vrindavan Dham. I'm telling you honestly, if you read this book, your vision towards Vrindavan will totally change. And even while staying in any part of the world, if you read this book, oh, you will definitely this mood will come. Oh, I am in Vrindavan Dham, and all glories to Vrindavan Dham. And how unfortunate I am that I'm so far away from these moods of service of divine couple Radha and Krishna. You see, this is the mood of Shri Prabodhan Saraswati Thakur, and he adopted this mood from combined couple, combined divine couple, Shri Radha Krishna. So Vrindavan Mahimamrit. And Prabodhan Saraswati Thakur also wrote Chaitanya Chandrodaya, Chaitanya Chandramrit, means the glories of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this complete book, compilation of shlokas glorifying, sorry, glorifying Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if anyone wants to learn the shlokas regarding Mahaprabhu or the contributions of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the moods of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the separation what he feels, one has to take shelter of Shri Prabodhan Saraswati Thakur. And by taking his shelter means taking shelter of his great book called Chaitanya Chandramrit. I have couple of things to say here. These are a couple of shlokas by which we can understand the glories of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's saying, Shanam Sheena Pina, Shanam Aha Shushruva Shanam Aha, Shanam Smrita Shitaha, Shanam Anal Tapta Shanam Api, Shanam Dhavan Stagda, Shanam Adik Jalpam Shanam Aho, Shanam Mukho Gaura Surtu Mam Deha Bhagavato. What is the meaning? He's saying, plunged into Radha's lamentation in separation from Krishna. At one moment, Mahaprabhu became totally emaciated and devastated. In one moment. And another moment, see, Mahaprabhu is changing. In other moment, thinking that Lord Krishna had appeared before him, he would become chubby with happiness. At another moment, he shed tears of joy. At another moment, he smiled. At another moment, he feel very cool. Then the next moment, burning in fire of separation from Krishna. At second moment, he became totally feverish, thinking that he saw Krishna in the distance. At another moment, he would run after him, considering that he has just touched Krishna. He would stunned with bliss. At another moment, he would talk as if Krishna were present. And another moment, he would become silent. I pray that Lord Gaur Sundar, the golden form, the golden avatara, may appear in my heart. You see, I think those who are translating, maybe it's a little difficult, but this is the mood. Shri Pradhan Saraswati Thakur saying that Mahaprabhu who's changing every moment, different emotions, separation, union, tears, smile, feverish, cool, running, stunned. You see, all these moods are contradictory to each other. Yeah, they're not same. If someone is running, then the other moment, what's supposed to happen? He runs more fast. but he can't be stern like a pillar. If we are smiling or laughing, we can't immediately start crying. So virodhabhas means contradictory emotions immediately reflecting on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Pradhan Sasri Thakur says, this is the glories of Mahaprabhu, and that Mahaprabhu may appear in my heart. Such a wonderful shloka. Yeah. Another one. Patra patra vicharam na kurute na cha param vikshate. Deya diya vimakarshno nahi nave kal pratikshna prabhu. Saddoya shavanikshnam paranamam dhyanadi durlabam. Datte bhakti ratam saiva gaur param me gatim. Now he's glorifying Mahaprabhu. What he's saying? He does not consider, listen, this is very important shloka. It applies to all of us. All of us. What he's saying? Mahaprabhu does not consider whether a person is qualified or not qualified. This shloka also applies to Shri Gurudev and all our acharyas. And of course, all our acharyas and Srila Gurudev in line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are direct manifestation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But actually, their identity is they are servant of Mahaprabhu. But a disciple should see that my Gurudev is manifestation of Mahaprabhu. Yadyapi amar Guru Chaitanya Radas, tathapi jani ami tahar prakash. Even though my Gurudev is manifestation of Mahaprabhu, even though my Gurudev is the servant of Mahaprabhu, but I see him as a manifestation of Mahaprabhu. Therefore, this shloka applies to Mahaprabhu, but all our Guru Vargas. And what's that? Mahaprabhu does not consider whether a person is qualified or not qualified. He does not see who is his own and who is an outsider. He does not consider who should receive and who should not receive. He does not consider who should receive and not receive. Not considered whether it is proper time or is not a proper time. The Lord at once gives the nectar of pure bhakti that is difficult to attain even by Shravanam, hearing the message of Lord. Second, seeing the deities of the Lord. Third, offering pranams, obeisances to the Lord. Even meditating on the Lord. Following or host of spiritual practices. Even by performing all these limbs of bhakti that is so difficult to attain, which Mahaprabhu has just blessed us, just like this. And today we all, with your raised arms, we chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, and chanting Mahamantra. Even though we are qualified, not qualified, Mahaprabhu did not consider this. You see, this is Prabhupada Sasri Thakur. He's saying, may that Mahaprabhu comes and sit in my heart. Then again he said, Dharma spishya satata param avisht evat dharane drishtim prapti nahi khalu satam shishti ko apinasan yadatte shiharira sudha swadhyamatta paranitya uchya gayanti vilutate stomi tam kinchit isham. Means also applies to us. Again, one who is untouched by any piety, one who is completely absorbed in irreligion, or who has never received the merciful glance of a devotee in the life. You see, start counting and go back to our life before Krishna consciousness, and we see all these points applies to us. What is that? Untouched by any piety, no good pious activities, completely absorbed in irreligion, sinful activities. Third, never received the merciful glance of a devotee. Fourth, never been to any holy places sanctified by them. 3, all even having all this shortcomings, what's happening today? Ecstatically dancing, loudly singing, rolling on the ground, and becoming intoxicated by tasting the nectar of transcendental love of Krishna. This is what happening to those who, even though all those shortcomings, today they are rolling on the ground in Navdeep Dham. They are singing and chanting and receiving that nectar of Bhagwan. This is what Shri Saraswati Thakur is saying. Yeah. So there are many in number. And finally he said, Vanchito asmi, vanchito asmi, vanchito asmi na samshaya. Vishwam gore rase magnam, sprash api namam bhavet. I'm cheated, I'm cheated, I'm cheated. 3 times he's saying, I'm cheated, I'm cheated, I'm cheated. Of this there is no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Although Gaur Mahaprabhu has plunged the entire world in the flood of love of Krishna, I have not touched by even a single drop of it. So I'm cheated. I'm cheated by my own nature or by my own attachments. So one more. There are so many, but just one more. As I already received this indication, you can go 2 hours. So I'm just following the orders. Mahaprabhu said, Shri Pradhananda Saraswati Thakur is saying, Prem naam put aksham shavan pate gata ka asya namna mahima ko veti kasya vrindavan vipin mahamadurishi praveshaha kova jananti radham param ras chamatkar madhurya sima ekas chaitanya chandram param karuna sarva avishkritam. What is saying? Listen carefully. Who has ever heard the wonderful word pure love of Krishna? No one. Prior to Mahaprabhu, no one ever knew what is the meaning of the word prema. Mahaprabhu introduced this. Pure love of Krishna, introduced by Mahaprabhu. Has anyone ever heard this before prior to Mahaprabhu? He's saying no. Who had entered the great sweetness of the forest of Vrindavan ever before? No one. Who had understood Sri Radhaji, who's filled with the most wonderful sweetness of pure love for Krishna? Has anyone have heard about the glories of Radharani before Mahaprabhu? No. That's why there is a song. Yadi Gaura na hai to tabe ki hai to ke man dhari tam deya. Radha Rama hiva preme rasa sima jagate janato ke. Yadi Gauranga na hai to tabe ki hai to ke man dhari tam deya. If Mahaprabhu would have not come in this world, no one would have known the glories of Radharani. Mahaprabhu himself, uh, being Krishna, but mood of Radharani is spreading the glories of Radharani. So these are some glorification. Shri Pradhan Sastri Thakur spoke about Mahaprabhu, but he also spoke some glories of Radharani. And from the great book, Shri Radha Ras Sudha Nidhi. Shri Radha Ras, we all understand this word, yes? The mellow of Radharani. Sudha means nectar, and Nidhi means great treasure, great wealth. or Nidhi means ocean. Yeah. So what he's saying there? Yasya kadapi vasna chalkhel notya धन्य अति धन्य पवनेन कीर्तार्थमानि योर गिरद्रम दुर्गम गति मधुसूदनोपि tasya vishvanu bhuvi dishepi. He's saying, when sometime Krishna, in the absorption of Radharani, chanting Radhe, 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 and he falls unconscious on the ground, then a mild breeze flowing and touching the veil of Radharani. Yeah, that breeze which touched the veil of Radharani and goes to the nostrils, comes to the nostrils of Krishna. And by smelling this, Krishna immediately gets back to his consciousness. Shri Pradhan Saraswati Thakur say, I pray obeisance to that direction. To that direction from this breeze is coming, touching the veil of Radharani. Yasya kadapi vasanam chalkhela notya. Dhanyati dhanya pavanena kirtarthamani. I pay obeisance to that direction. Yeah, which even makes Krishna yeah, in consciousness, especially when Krishna is in deep separation and he fell unconscious. Then there is another. Kenapi nagar varen pade nipatya sad pratheka parirambh rasutsava saprabhu vibhangam atirangam nide kadate shiradike nahi nahi ti gira shiromani. Shri Pradhan Saraswati Thakur said, O Shri Radhe, O great pleasure of bliss, when the best of all lovers, means Krishna, falls at your feet and begs for nectar festival of a single embrace. Krishna folded hands and falls in the feet of Radharani. For what? Just give me one embrace. Just give me one embrace. Shri Pradhan Saraswati Thakur said, when will I see you knit your eyebrows? Pradhan Saraswati Thakur saying, addressing to Radharani, when I will see that you moving your eyebrows and you saying to Krishna, no, 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 you will not get this. And Krishna falling in the feet of Radharani. See how these acharyas are so absorbed and predominance of Radharani. What is the glories of Radharani? In this world, we see an ocean with salt water, but the qualities of Radharani is also like ocean. He said, Vidagda Sindhu Anurag Raseka Sindhu Vasalya Sindhu Rati Sandra Kripaika Sindhu Lavanya Sindhu Amri Chavi Rupa Sindhu Shri Radhika Spurutamam Ridikeli Sindhu. I'm not elaborating on the shlokas, but some other time we will take one shloka and we will elaborate in detail. So much is there. So what is the meaning of this? May Shri Radha, who is an ocean of intelligence. Now you see, those who are writing, they can pen down how many qualities Radharani have. Ocean. Radharani, who is an ocean of intelligence, a nectar ocean of love, an ocean of affection, ocean of great mercy, the ocean of beauty, ocean of nectar splendor, an ocean of transcendental pastimes. May that Radharani appear in my heart. So many oceans. Viragda Sindhu, Anurag Raseka Sindhu, Lavanya Sindhu, Rati Sandhu, Kripaika Sindhu. All these oceans. Yeah. So these are endless. But see how Pradhan Saraswati Thakur, he is absorbed in the glories of Radharani and in the glory, describing the glories of Radharani and describing the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we all pay obeisances to श्री प्रबोधन शशि ठाकुर, बोलो बोलो श्री प्रबोधन शशि ठाकुर की जय. I'm telling you honestly, I was saying this uh, to someone this morning. Usually at Braj Mandal Parikrama, all speakers, they only get 10 to 50 minutes to speak. And when I get my turn to speak, they always ask me to speak in English. And because the maximum crowd is Bengalis there, and they start moving when English speakers start describing this. And what to speak of saying 15 minutes, when I speak 7 to 8 minutes, all get disturbed, the whole scene get disturbed. And even I get frustrated, and even all the English audience get frustrated that they're not getting Harikatha. But in this online Harikatha, no time barriers. I can't imagine at the Samadhi program Sasi Thakur, I would have said 10 to 15 minutes, not possible. So one spot means only 10 minutes, and you have to cover everything in 10 minutes. How is possible? Yeah. So I think this online Harikatha is better than to my full satisfaction. Okay, let's come out from the Samadhi of Prabhupada Sasi Thakur and we go to this tree, Kalia Rida. The tree, Krishna climbed on that tree and jumped into ocean, jumped into Jamuna ji. This is like a pond, a lake, because in our audience there are so many new people who never been there. Just for them, Jamuna ji is flowing, and but there are different some sections, some ponds in the Jamuna also. So this section of Jamuna is called Kalya Rida. The story goes from Bhagavatam. There was a rishi called Saubri Rishi who used to perform austerities in the water Jamuna, inside the water Jamuna. And every day, Garud, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, used to come there and he used to uh, uh, take all those fish from the water Jamuna, those who are very sinful and offensive. So Garud is a carrier of Lord Vishnu and he's a Param Vaishnav, is a pure devotee of Lord. So Garudji is a kind of like punishing those fish which are sinful. But Shaubri Rishi, this sage performing austerities in the water, he didn't understood the mood of Garuda. So he cursed Garudji. I curse you. You cannot come here. I curse you. You're troubling those fishes here. Why are you troubling those fishes? I curse you. Garudji, he humbly accepted that curse and he stopped coming in Jamuna. But because Garudji is Vaishnav, Saubri Rishi did Vaishnav Aparad, the offense towards Vaishnav. And he has to go through some consequences. And what was that? He cursed Garudji, but after a few days, he saw one male and female fish mingling together. By seeing this, great sage Saubri, who was performing from so many hundreds of years, this austerity, by seeing this male and female fish, a desire evoked in his heart also to get married and to sense enjoyment. So he came out from the waters and he went to one king called Mandhata. King called Mandhata. And he said, "Oh king, I want to marry your daughter." King Mandhata became so fearful that if I will not give my daughter to this great sage, he will curse me. He can just destroy me and all my kingdom. And he was thinking in his mind, in this old age, you have big hairs, dreadlocks, no teeth, so many wrinkles. In his old age, like more than 300 years of age, and you want to get married in this age. But the king was thinking, how can I stop him? So he thought a plan. He said, okay, great sage, you can marry my daughters, because he had 50 daughters. 50 daughters. He said, you can marry any of my daughter, but on the condition if she likes you. So I will call all my daughters here, and whoever likes you can just get married to any of my daughter. Sage Sobri was very intelligent. He said, oh, okay, you don't know my power, you don't know my strength, and you're thinking I'm an old person, and you're making an excuse to escape from this proposal. I will show you now. Wait a minute. Sobri Rishi, he jumped into one pond, and he came out from the pond like a teenager, 16-year young boy, so handsome, the fulgent, very handsome. And he came back to the palace and told King, I'm the same Sabri Rishi. And King said, oh, what medicine you took? Which herb you ate? You became so young. Medicine. You became so young. He said, call your daughters. And the king called 50 of his daughters. Come, my daughters. Any of you like to marry with this beautiful, handsome boy? Please come forward. And you will not believe. 50 daughters said, we all want to marry him. 50 daughters. Because they said, we have never seen such a beautiful, handsome person in our life. We all want to get married with him. Sabri Rishi married 50 daughters of King Mandhata. And that happened because of his offense, the curse which he gave to the carrier of Bhagwan, the bird Garuda. Yeah. But later on, after enjoying his senses for a long time, later on Sabri Rishi became very sober, and he lamented that my life is wasted. And he resumed his tapasya, his austerities. Yeah, in this way. Because of this curse, something happened. And that is, Garud cannot come there, but great snake, Kalia, very poisonous, huge form, he came there and started staying, residing in this lake in Jamuna. Yeah, very poisonous. The whole water became poisonous. All the fish died because of his poison. You see, this is the consequence of the offense towards the Vaishnav. Sabri Rishi felt compassion for the fish, and that's why he cursed Garuda. But was no benefit at all, because Kalia came in that water, the snake, and the water became poisonous, and all the fish also died. The water was so poisonous, the air, the breeze which is flowing over the water, so poisonous that even when the birds flying over, they fall on the water. Yeah, that much. So if anytime any cows drinking water there, they fell unconscious. So Kalia was troubling a lot from from long span. Yeah, no Brajvasis was going there. So Kalia, in other words, is polluted the holy river Jamuna. He polluted. Once upon a time, Krishna, with his sakhas, cowherd boys, he came to, as usual, in the morning for cow grazing. He bring all these cows for grazing. But that day, Baldev Prabhu, was stopped by his mother, Rohini Maya. Roni Maya said, Balaram, today you will not go to forest with Kanaya. Why not, mother? Because you have to give some charities to Brahmins. Oh, is it my birthday today? Roni Maya said, no, no, no. Not your birthday. But today your birth nakshatra, means the constellation when you took birth. So there is some worship, some puja of Lord Narayan at home. Brahmins will come. So you stay back. Krishna was looking for this opportunity from many days because he wanted to chastise Kalia. Krishna with his sakhas playing just on the bank of Jamuna, and intentionally he threw a ball in the water of Jamuna. Intentionally he did. Then all the sakhas said, "Oh Kanaya, you throw this ball in the water, Jamuna. What we're going to do now? How are we going to play?" Krishna said, "One who has thrown the ball, he will bring back the ball." No, 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 Kanaya, don't go there, don't go there. Why not? Kalia, a snake, resides in the water. It's so poisonous. No one goes there. Krishna said, no, no, I'm accused for this. I should go and bring the ball back. No, Kanaya, don't go. Kanaya, don't go. Kanaya, don't go. And Kanaya was not listening them, and he was running, running, and they were stopping. Please wait, please wait, please wait. And Krishna, he jumped into the water. He climbed on a tree. The tree is still there. All other trees and plants near the bank of Jamuna died because of the poison. Only this tree was alive. Why this tree is alive? It's still present there. Yeah. Because Garuda, once upon a time, to release his mother from big story from Mahabharata, she was supposed to become the maid servant of her uh, counterpart. So Garuji want to release his mother from some circumstances, and for that he has to bring pot of nectar from heaven, from Swarga. So Garuji, he went to Swarga, he fought with demigods, and he brought this pot of nectar. And when he brought this pot of nectar, he sat on this tree. And because he sat on this tree with the pot of nectar, this tree is so potent, so potency, that the poison of Kalia was not able to disturb or destroy this tree. And Krishna climbed on this tree and he jumped into that lake, Kalia River. Then all the sakhas, they are now weeping and crying in separation. Krishna, why are you not listening us? Why you jump there? We don't need to play. And some of them, they came back and started shouting, screaming, Krishna has jumped into Kalia River, the lake of Kalia. Krishna has jumped. By hearing this, everyone start running towards Jamuna. Everyone. Old, young, children, male, female, cows, birds, all other animals, monkeys, everyone. Yeah. In the great book Gopal Champu, written by Jiv Goswami, he explains there that only houses stayed back. Only houses and trees stayed back. Everyone else ran towards Jamuna. Why they ran? They also want to jump into Jamuna, thinking, Krishna, if you will not be alive, then why we have to hold our bodies? We will also leave our bodies. So much love and affection. That Krishna is their life and soul. Only trees and houses, they're lamenting with tears in their eyes. Alas, alas, we don't have feet. We don't have feet. Otherwise, we would have also ran towards Jamuna to jump into Jamuna to show how much we love Krishna. Only they were lamenting. So this is the love of Brajvasis, where Krishna is their life and soul. Now, if we compare this with Dwarika pastimes. What's happening in Dwarika? You know, long pastime, but in short, in Dwarika, Krishna he entered into the cave of Jamvan because Krishna was accused of stealing Samantak money, one jewel. Yeah, everyone started saying Krishna is thief. He stole this special necklace, very valuable necklace. He entered into the cave of a bear called Jamvan, who was also present, the associate of Lord Ram in Treta Yuga. Krishna entered into that cave. Krishna was surrounded by his friends, the Yadavs from Dwarika, but they didn't enter into the cave. They stayed back outside, thinking, oh, why we have to go inside the cave? Krishna is Supreme Lord. No one can harm him, but if we enter the cave, maybe we'll get some problems, some troubles. So they didn't enter inside, and they stayed back outside. So our Acharya explains, Jeev Goswami explains, Vishnu Chakur Thakur explains. This is the difference of mood in Vrindavan and in Dwarika. Yeah, they don't want to enter into the cave, even though the Krishna life is on risk. But only by hearing in Vrindavan, only by hearing Krishna jumped into the lake of Kalia, the snake, they all want to also jump and they ran towards the lake. So while they're running, Balram Prabhu was standing like this. Yeah. Balram Prabhu was standing like this and smiling. Oh, why Baldev Prabhu was smiling? Because Balram Prabhu was thinking, if I also start weeping or lamenting, today I will not be able to save or protect any Brajvasis, any inhabitant of Braj. Balram Prabhu, Baldev Prabhu, he was smiling. This is called Hasya Ras. There are 5 primary rasas and there are 7 secondary rasas. Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vasalyaras, Madhuras. These are 5 prime rasas. But there are 7 secondary. Laughter, etc. So laughter, laughing is one of the secondary rasas. And there is another rasa called Karuna ras, means lamenting. All other Brajvasis were lamenting. All other Brajvasis were lamenting. But Balram Prabhu was smiling and laughing. Why? It's contradictory. Suppose, just example, in neighbors or in your friend circle, someone is very sick, very sick, about to leave the body. And we start playing music and we start dancing. Is it appropriate? People in that house, they're lamenting and they're crying because someone is leaving body. And we just go with the flowers and sweets and wish, hello, good day, happy birthday, etc. Quite opposite. Karunras and Hasyaras means crying and smiling. Baldev Prabhu intentionally was smiling, laughing. And seeing this, all the Brajvasis became so relieved. Oh, if Balaram is there and he has no worry and he's very happy, then means there is no danger, no harm to Krishna. Because if there is any harm or danger to Krishna, first of all, Balram would have jumped into Jamuna. So intentionally, Baldev Prabhu was standing outside to hold on to all other Brajvasis because they would have jumped into the river. Like that. In this way. and what Krishna was doing in the water. Now, this was what was happening outside, but inside water, Kalia, the snake, he coiled Krishna. This is how the snake attacked. And he's trying to kill Krishna. Krishna applied his strength. He said, "Oh, Kalia, you're Kalia. I'm also black. You showing your strength. Now let me show my strength." And Krishna expanded himself, his body, and all the coils of Kalia started breaking apart. Krishna jumped. Krishna jumped on the hood of Kalia. Kalia raised his hood, and there are so many hoods, hundreds of hoods of Kalia. He was the king of the snakes. And he's trying to hit Krishna. But Krishna, with his elbow, he hit on the hood of Kalia, and Kalia vomit blood. He again raised another hood. Krishna hit on the hood of Kalia. Again he vomit blood. Krishna was wondering, he's raising so many hoods, and why I'm hitting them with the elbow? Why don't I just dance on the hood? If I dance on the hood, I can show what? My heroism and want to attract my gopis. You know, hero, they always apply something or the other to attract the heroine. Not only in Hollywood or Bollywood, but also in Jarna. The hero always wants to show something or the other. Yeah, strength or something to make the heroine captivating, enchanting. Yeah. So Kalya Leela was there only to attract the gopis, to show the gopis how powerful I am. To show his sakhas, don't ever underestimate me. You might have seen many people in the world who can dance on ropes. Have you seen? In India, it's very common. Many people are so expert. They dance. You know, there are two poles and a rope is binded on the pole. So they take a stick in their hand and they walk on this rope with a dancing posture. It's so difficult. But they're expert and they show this. So you have seen many people dancing on rope. You have seen many people even dancing on the broken pieces of glass which are fall on the ground. Seen many people dancing on the burning coal, on the fire. But you have never heard anyone dancing on the hoods of a snake. What is that meaning? Because snake is poisonous? No, no, not in that sense. But because the hood of the snake is very slippery. And Krishna so expertly is dancing on the hoods of Kalia. Yeah. All the demigods from the Swarga, they brought so many instruments. Brahma, Shiv, Indra, they brought their instruments. You know, Mirdanga, Kartal, Veena, all these instruments. Savan Shad Murpaya Suresha Shakra Par Parmeshti Purogaha. But when they're playing instruments, they all failed. Why failed? Krishna is so expert and Krishna is so fast in dancing. They can't incompatible with the steps which Krishna is taking while he's dancing. You know, those who are familiar with singing or playing mirdanga, you know, if there is some disturbance in the tal, the singer get totally annoyed. Oh, I can't sing like this. It has to be correct. Ting, 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 kartal. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So, even though all these great personalities, Brahma and Shiv, they are very expert in playing all instruments. They are playing. But Krishna was kind of teasing them and was so expert. So, एक प्रभु लीला करे प्रभु करे पांच साथ. Only with one exhibition of his art, he's accomplishing so many things. He's trying to attract the attention of the gopis. He wants to show his sakhas, his heroism, and also he wants to show the demigods how expert I am in dancing. And that's why one of the name of Krishna is Natvar, Varaha Pidam, Natvar Vapyo Karnyo Karnikaram. When Gopi is describing the beauty of Krishna, they saying Krishna is Natvar, means the best amongst all the dancers. All kind of walks Krishna can do. All the sun walk, moon walk, star walk, sky walk, every kind of walk Krishna can do. Very expert in dancing, which attracts demigods and which attracts gopis. Imagine. All the break dance and all the other dance Krishna can do. And he was doing on the hoods of Kalia. He got such a good platform to dance on. Huh. So what demigods did? They just kept their instrument aside and they just only looking how wonderful Krishna is dancing. They can't play with Krishna. So in meditation, there was a great Vaishnav called Surdas. Surdas ji, who composed so many poems glorifying the Lord, but he was blind by birth, no eyes. Surdas. So even though he has no eyes, external eyes, but in his meditation, in that spiritual eyes, he used to visualize all these pastimes of Krishna in Braj. And he saw how Krishna wonderfully dancing on the hoods of Kalia. So he composed one poem. Maybe you will not understand this. तांडव गति मुंडन पर नाचत गिरिधारी तांडव गति मुंडन पर नाच गिरिधारी बम 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 पर घट पर फन फन पर फननि पर बम 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 विनती कर नाग वधुधारी तांडव गति मुंडन पर नाचत गिरिधारी तांडव गति मुंडन पर नाचत गिरिधारी means Krishna dancing on the hoods of Kalia. Shiva thought, I am also a dancer. One of the name of Shiva is Nataraj. Nataraj means the king of all the dancers. But how Shiva learned this art of dance? Only by seeing Krishna. Shiva is Nataraj, but Krishna is Natvar, the best of all the dancers. Shiva learned from whom? Krishna. Okay, question. Krishna learned from whom? The art of dance. Krishna learned the art of dance from
Srimati Radharani.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe Radharani. What is the evidence? I heard some devotee said Radharani. I heard that. But what is the evidence that he learned from Radharani? Anyone? I'll give you some prashadam right from the phone. Any evidences? In Chaitanya Chaitamrit, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains this. Kasmad vrinde priya sakhi sapad mulo kutoso kunda ramnam kimam kurute nitya shiksha guru ka. Once upon a time, Radharani asked Vrinda Sakhi, Oh Vrinde, from where are you coming? She said, Swapad Mulo, from the lotus feet of Krishna. Oh, where is he? Oh, he's in Radhakund. What is doing there? Vrinda Sakhi said, he is learning the art of dance. Oh, who's teaching? Tasmat Guru Priyamka. Who is that teacher? Vrinda Sakhi said, Radharani, your images which are impressed in all the leaves, the creepers, and the branches of a tree. Because when Radharani danced in Radhakund, all the leaves and flowers, the creepers, they hold the impressions of Radharani movements in Krishna without taking support of anyone. Krishna is seeing all these creepers and branches and he started dancing there, imitating Radharani postures. So Nitya Shiksha Guru ka, the Guru of Krishna is Radharani. Yeah. And also Radharani's Prema Guru, the Guru of love of Krishna. And also the dance of Krishna. Krishna learned all the dances from, all the arts from Radharani. Yeah. Therefore, Shiva is also known as Nataraj, for Shiva learned the art of dance from Krishna. Therefore, Shankaracharya, one of great Acharya, Shankaracharya, he wrote Jatattavi Galajjala Pravapavita Sthale Gale Valam Balambita Bhujatumang Malikam Dum Dudum 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 Nidadva Durvamadvaram Chakar Chanda Tandavam Tunotina Shiva Shivam Bam 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 Vinati Karata Bam 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 Vinati Kar Nagavadu Hari Tandav Gati Mundan Paranacha Giridhari. Okay, in this way, Krishna is dancing, and all the gopis got attracted. But Krishna is telling with his eye contact to his sakhas. Have you seen anyone dancing on the hoods of snake? Sakha said, "Oh Krishna, this is not your potency. This is not your strength." They say, "Hey, I'm showing so much dance here. I'm so much strength here. You're not even glorifying me." Sakha said, "No, you can't do this. It's not your art." Then he said, "This is because your father Nanda Maharaj, he worshipped Lord Narayan, and you get blessed by the prayers of your father towards Lord Narayan. That's why you accomplish all this difficult task. Otherwise, Krishna, you cannot do anything. You cannot do anything." Yeah. In this way, this is the place where Krishna subdued Kaliya, and then all the hoods of Kaliya got broken. He started vomiting blood, and he just about to die. Then all the wives of Kaliya came there with folded hands. "Please spare our husband. Please spare our husband." Why they didn't came before? All these wives of Kaliya, they're devotee of Krishna. We sing every morning by performing parikrama. What we sing? Jayo Dij, Jayo Dija Patni Jayo Naga Kanya Gana Bhakti Teja Hara Pailo Govinda Charana. The wives of Brahman, Dujapatnis, and the wives of Kaliya, they all got devotion, bhakti. No, they're devoted towards Krishna. So they start glorifying, praying Krishna with so many prayers and stutis. Yeah, so many prayers. In one of the stutis, prayers, they said, Kasyanubhavna asya dev vidmahe tav angri renu sparsh adhikar tapa yad vancha shi lalanar kar tapa vihai kamena sucharena dhritvarta. The wives of Kaliya saying, "We are wondering how is possible? How can you place your lotus feet on the head of this snake Kaliya? That lotus feet which is worshipped by and difficult for even Lakshmi to attain. How can our husband Kaliya, he got your lotus feet? How is possible? Which is unattainable even by Lakshmi. And Vihai Kamena Sucharena Dhritvata, she is performing austerities at Belvan. We will speak about Belvan on Ekadashi day. Yeah, Parikrama goes to Belvan on that day. So Lakshmi Devi is performing austerities there to attain the lotus feet of Krishna. How is possible that this poisonous snake got this lotus feet of Krishna? How is possible? Then Gurudev used to ask this question to many devotees. You tell us how Kalia got this. Then Gurudev used to conclude by saying, because Kalia has took shelter of Jamuna Maharani, and Kalia wives were devoted to Krishna. So any of the family member, if devoted to Krishna, then all other family members get benefited. If wife is devoted, husband get benefit. If husband is devoted, wife get benefit. If children are devoted, then parents get benefit. If parents are devoted, even children get some benefit or the other. Sometimes children are rebellious. They don't want to attend all this spiritual ceremony. They say this is totally false. We don't. But parents are devotees. So early morning they do arati. So even the child, if they don't want and not interested in all these activities, so when mother or father, parents, they are performing arati, incense, the smell of incense which is offered to Krishna goes in the environment and goes in the nostrils of the children. Somehow or the other, this is prasad. Ringing bell, conch, prasadam. Sometimes mothers they tell to the children, boy, Tulsi is outside, can you bring Tulsi inside? Keep on the table under the sun. I hear sometimes. So the boy is just helping the mother. He is not interested in Tulsi Maharani, but he get touch of the plant, Tulsi plant. He get touch. So some or the other, even one person in the family, if devoted, then rest of the family members also get some benefit or the other. Yeah. And not only the family member, even the neighbors get benefited, some or the other. Yeah. So Kalia got blessed by Krishna's lotus feet only because of the relationship with his wives, and wives were Krishna's devotee of Krishna. Krishna said, Kalia, go away from here. Don't disturb my Jamuna and don't disturb my Brajvasis. Kalia said, Prabhu, sorry to say, but where will I go now? Because I curse Garudji. You telling me to go, I'm obedient to you, I will go away. But if I just go out from here, Garud will kill me. Krishna smiled. He said, no, Kalia. My footprints are impressed on your hoods. And anyone who has my footprint impressed on their forehead, on their head, what to speak of devotee? Garuda is devotee. Even Yamaraj, the king of death, or Yamdutas, the messengers of death, they cannot harm that person. Imagine. And that's how we put tilak. These two lines means we place two lotus feet of Krishna on forehead and Tulasi. Yamdutas cannot come to touch if a person have tilak. If a person dies accidentally, nothing can happen to that person. Means Yamdutas cannot touch that person. This is the significance of putting this tilak. Krishna told, my footprints are impressed on you. So wherever you go, Garud will not say anything to you because he will see the footprint. So go away from here. Where? Ramnak Deep. Ramnak Deep means Fiji. Fiji Islands near Australia. Kalia is there. As who told this? Our Acharyas, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He established Kalia Krishna temple there. And who welcomed Srila Prabhupada in that country? one of our devotee, Punja family from Fiji. They are Gurudev devotees, Gurudev disciples. They are the one who helped Srila Prabhupada in that country. They're very famous business people there. Yeah. So Kalya Krishna temple is installed there. Kalya is there. And something very strange I heard when I was in Fiji. The local residents, they say there is nothing poisonous in our country. I don't know how much true it is. I have no experience, but they say this. Even a scorpio, lizard, snake, they're supposed to be poisonous, but they are not poisonous there because the king of all poison, Kalya, resides there. So Kalya was sent away from Jamuna. How much important it is to establish relationship with devotees, you see, how much important it is. So this is some of the glimpse of Kalya Rad. Under the guidance of Gurudev, by performing this parikrama, we heard this Kalya Leela from Srimad Bhagavatam, but I am not finished yet. I can't believe I'm speaking so much. In parikrama, I can only get 10 minutes to speak. I started almost 4 o'clock. Now it's 5. Yeah, almost 1 hour, 20 minutes I spoke. So let us all come to Shri Sanatan Goswami Pad Samadhi. Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad Ki Jai. The commander-in-chief in the army of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rup and Sanatan. The prominent amongst all the associates, amongst all the Goswamis of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Sanatan Goswami Pad, who used to reside in Vrindavan, but his daily practices is he used to walk all the way from Vrindavan to Govardhan, which is like almost 25 miles. He used to walk and then performing Govardhan Parikrama. And you know how big is Govardhan Parikrama? How many miles? I know about kilometers. Oh, 15 miles. 16 miles. Yeah. So someone is helping me. 16 miles Govardhan Parikrama. So from Vrindavan to Govardhan, 25 miles, and then performing 16 mile Govardhan Parikrama, and again 25 miles coming back, walking. This was his daily schedule. Shri Sanatana Goswami Pad, he used to go and ask Bhiksha, Madhukari, from each and every house, but not for eating, but to bless that family, bless that house. He used to ask Bhiksha, give me some roti, some chapatis, something to eat. But on the pretext of Bhiksha, he used to develop relationship with them. Gurudev used to tell this. Developing relationship. Oh, your daughter got married? Oh, which village she got married? How she's doing now? Okay, another house he's asking question. How is your cow now? She was sick last week. You must give the cow this thing, some jaggery, some things like that. In this way, he used to establish relationship, and he became so famous as father of whole Braj Mandal. People used to address him as Bade Baba, like a father figure to everyone. So once upon a time, Sanatan Goswami Pal, when he started to Govardhan, he came back from Govardhan. On the way back in Mathura, he saw one Brahmin lady called Chobayan. He saw one very strange scene. And what is that? Early in the morning, she was brushing her teeth. Like we in India, in those days, we used to have, neem twig, like a long stick, chewing, and this is the brush. It's more better than Colgate. There's no chemical in that. It's natural. Neem for the teeth. No problem for teeth, dental throughout the life. So like a stick. So she's chewing that early in the morning, and on the other end she was stirring the khichdi she was making. for Madan Gopal, for Krishna. And she has one son called Sadhana, and Madan Gopal is Madana. So these two boys means her son and Krishna as a young boy used to play together. And she used to call them Sadhana, Madana, come boys, take khichdi. Sanatana Goswami Pad saw this. Oh, this is not fair. One is supposed to wash hands, take bath, shower, clean cloth to cook for the deities. And she's chewing that, brushing her teeth, and the other end she's sharing the khichdi. What is this? And Sanatana Goswami Pad told that Brahmin lady, Mataji, this is not the system. This is not correct way. You have to maintain purity. And then in meditation by chanting, reciting mantra, then you can offer this to Krishna. Not like this. She said, okay, Baba, I'm so sorry. Okay, Baba, I'm so sorry. I didn't knew this. I will do this from tomorrow. And by saying this, Nathan Goswami went away. And next morning, she first brushed her teeth. She took shower, changed her clothes, maintained purity, washing kitchen. And there Thakurji means Madan Gopal, so much hungry. Oh, I'm so hungry. Where is my breakfast? Why delaying so much? Krishna is complaining. He didn't like this idea. He was happy when she was cooking like that. He was very much happy with that. So when other day, next day when Sanatana Goswami Pad came, he saw, wow, Krishna don't like this. He only wanted to have the same standard as it was before. But Madan Gopal, Krishna got attracted to see Sanatana Goswami Pad. And he said, I want to go with you. I want to go with you. Sanatana Goswami Pad said, I have nothing to offer to you. What benefit you get by walking with me? No, no, I want to be with you, Baba. No matter what you offer, I will go with you. He said, okay, come. Then Madan Gopal said, okay, I'll walk behind you, but you don't have to look back. The moment if you look back, I will not walk, then I will be still there. So Sanatana Goswami Pad is walking and Madan Gopalji was after him. And at one spot, at uh, one raised platform where he used to sit and do his bhajan, there he turned back and saw Krishna, and then Krishna, he stood still with a deity form, and now he's known as Madan Mohan. Before, his name was Madan Gopal. Who discovered this Madan Gopal? Shri Advaitacharya Prabhu. Shri Advaitacharya Prabhu, when he was residing in Vrindavan, he got this Madan Gopal deity buried underground, and he took out that deity, Madan Gopal. Yeah. And keeping the Madan Gopalji there, he heard, oh, the Krishna has now taken birth in Mayapur as Gaur Hari, Sachinandan Gaur Hari, and Advaitacharya Prabhu went to Shantipur and then Mayapur. Yeah. So Sanatan
Hello?
Goswami Pad, Shri Sanatan Goswami Pad, he got this, he installed, he got this Radha Madan Mohan. Sorry, I got disturbed because someone was speaking in between. Please turn off your microphones. So Madan Mohanji, every day Sanatan Goswami Pad, he used to go and collect some atta, some flour, and make a dough and put in the coals and just offering this half burned, half raw, not on a nice plate, just with his hands, offering like this to Madan Mohan. Okay, eat. One day, second day, third day, Madan Mohan ate that. One day, Madan Mohanji said, Sanatan, it's so difficult to eat like this. At least give me some salt. It's so dry. There is no taste. And what Sanatan Goswami Pad told, I'm not here to supply all these things to you. I'm here to only do my bhajan, my worship. Yeah. He gave priority to more on his bhajan. Why? Because his bhajan, his process, his devotional practices is to please Krishna. But if Krishna is asking something from you, will you not give to Krishna? Of course. We are longing for that eagerly. Sometime Krishna can come and say, "Oh Krishna Vallabha, can you offer me some uh, what? Some cake?" Or Krishna comes to Ishwari and say, "Ishwari, can you offer me a pastry tomorrow?" Krishna comes to Maya and say, "Maya, can you give me halwa tomorrow?" Krishna comes to Rekha and say, "Rekha, I want to have something very special." Some rasgulla. So if Krishna will ask, what you will do? No matter how difficult it is, we all run and try to get and offer to Krishna. Yeah. But here it's a different story. Krishna is asking, at least minimum, give me salt. And Sanatana Goswami say, no. I asked this question to Gurudev. In Brajmandal Parikrama, Gurudev was in Gopinath Bhavan. And Parikrama came back from the first day Parikrama came back, and I was serving Gurudev, and I asked Gurudev, what is the secret behind this? Then Gurudev was little, you're not hearing Hari Katha? I said, Gurudev, I'm sorry, I'm not attending Parikramas. Why not? Then the devotees in that who were also there, he said, you already know they're working in publication, they don't attend Parikramas. Then Gurudev said, okay, listen. And he became very grave. He said, this is the test of a test by devotee towards his beloved, worshipable Krishna. I said, Gurudev, I didn't understood. Just 1 minute. Can you elaborate on this? Or what you said? Gurudev said, generally, Krishna tests devotees. How much my devotee love me. But sometimes devotees also test Krishna. How much Krishna loves me. Sanatana Goswami Pad was testing the love of Krishna. Yeah. This is the secret, Gurudev said. I still remember this verse. Gurudev said, this is the test. Because offering salt is not a big thing. It's not a very expensive thing. You would have easily get and can give. Salt is so cheap. But actually, Sanatana Goswami Pad wants to test Krishna. That he asks me salt. I want to check and test. If I deny, will he still stay with me or will he just leave me? Sanatana Goswami wants to test the love, the prem of Krishna. So what happened then? Did Madan Mohan left Sanatana Goswami Pad? No. The love was proved, approved, proved and approved together. Madan Mohan didn't left Sanatana Goswami. He stayed there, even eating this raw, one time a day, only this, the dough which is half burned and without not proper, nice silver plate or golden plate, just by hands like this. Okay, eat. Yeah. But still Madan Mohan didn't reject or left Sanatana Goswami Pad. He was captivated, controlled by his love. What kind of love? The rope of love. Pranena Rasena Dhitangri Padma. The rope of love. Then ordinary general rope we can see. Yeah. But the rope of love is not seen. We can't see that. We can feel that. Heart says. Even if you don't say, but one feels from the heart. This is the rope of love. even in ordinary sense. And what to speak of Sanatan Goswami Pad's love towards Krishna and Krishna's love towards Sanatan Goswami. Because Sanatan Goswami is Manchari, serving Radha and Krishna. Yeah. So, Madan Mohanji stayed there. Sanatan Goswami Pad was serving Madan Mohanji every day. And the Pranam mantra of Madan Mohanji is Jaitam Surto Pangur Mama Manda Matir Gati Mat Sarvas Padam Bhujo Shri Radha Madan Mohanu. What is the meaning Madan Mohan? What is the meaning Madan Mohan? Madan means Cupid and Mohan means enchanter of Cupid. Cupid became very puffed up. Why puffed up? This is written by one of our Acharya hundreds of years back. And Mahaprabhu used to respect him so much. His name was Shirdhar Swami, hundreds of years back. Shirdhar Swami, who gave commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam. He wrote one shloka right in the beginning of Ras Leela. And what he wrote? Brahm Adi Samrudam Darp Kandarpa Darpaha Jayati Shripati Gopi Ras Mandal Mandita. Means Cupid became puffed up. I have conquered everyone, the entire world dancing on my tips. Calm, lust is employed by Cupid. And Cupid trying to trouble everyone. The person is doing very good, but is troubled by Cupid. And Cupid have 5 arrows. If Cupid even is shooting one arrow, one get totally bewildered. Oh, can't control myself. And what if the Cupid shoot 5 arrows? Oh, gone. Finish. Cupid became so pumped up. I've controlled everyone in the entire world. Even great personalities, Brahma, Shiva, and even great saints like Naradi is under my clutches. Yeah. Once upon a time, Brahma, the creator of the universe, the first citizen of the universe, Brahmaji, he ran after his own daughter. Cupid thought this is because of my influence. That such a high personality, Brahma is running after his own daughter. Shiva, he running after Mohani, the incarnation of Bhagwan. Bhagwan himself is so beautiful, and especially when he assumes a female form, he looks so beautiful. And Mahadev, Shiva, ran after Mohani, got totally enchanted, captivated by her beauty. And Kamdev, means Cupid, thought it's because of my influence. And once upon a time, great saint Naraji, he wants to get married with Vish Mohani, the most beautiful woman of the universe, Miss Universe, Vish Mohani. But that was a pastime of Lord Ram, of Bhagwan. But Cupid is just thinking it's because of my influence. And he starts proclaiming, I have conquered everyone in the whole world. All great personalities under my clutches. But somebody told me, excuse me, Cupid, there is one other person. If you defeat him, then you become unconquerable. I mean, you become the topmost. And Cupid asked, who is that person? He said, the son of Nanda Maharaj. His name is Krishna. He's also very handsome. He's also very beautiful. Lavanya Saram Asmordam Ananya Siddhim. The essence of all lustre. If you defeat him, then there is no one in the entire world. Cupid said, of course, I'm going to challenge him. So once upon a time, Krishna, with his cows, When Krishna with his cows means Vasalya Bhav, the motherly affection. He's absorbed there in the cows, with the cows. Sorry. And Cupid came, challenged Krishna. Hey Krishna, I heard you are very handsome. You look handsome, no doubt. But I want to have fight with you. I want to shoot my arrows to you. Krishna said, wait a minute. This is not a favorable time. I'm with my cows. They are my mothers. They're like mothers. So one don't feel any lust when someone is with mothers. I will give you appropriate time favorable, according to your favorable time. And Cupid said, you want to run away? He said, no, 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 don't worry. Very soon, Ras Purnima is coming. Very soon. I will be dancing with all my gopis. All the gopis are so beautiful. They are like goddess of fortune. Very beautiful. So, midnight on the bank of Jamuna, where everything is so much stimulating, the cool breeze, full moon, you come that moment and you shoot arrows on me. Then we will see who will win over. Okay? And Cupid thought, wow, everything is done. Yeah, he himself has told his weakness with young woman of Braj. Okay? And this is what happened. In the beginning of Ras Leela, when Krishna applied his flute and all the gopis came running there, uh, all the beautiful gopis came there, the bank of Jamuna, full moon and breeze of Jamuna, everything is so favorable. Kamdev Cupid, he, he came in the boundaries of Braj Mandal with his 5 arrows ready to shoot on Krishna. But what to speak of shooting arrows? He just saw the effulgence from one toenail of Krishna. Only one toenail of Krishna. Cupid saw that effulgence, and by seeing this, he felt unconscious there. He felt unconscious. He can't defeat Krishna. Therefore, Krishna got this name, Madan Mohan. Madan Mohan means enchanter of Cupid. But Krishna can bewilder Cupid. But there is one who even bewilders Krishna. Who's that? Radharani. She even bewilders Krishna by her beauty. So her name is Madan Mohan Mohini. Madan Mohan Mohini. So this is in short, the glories of Madan Mohan. Otherwise, I had list of description of the beauty of Madan Mohan. Sudha Lavanya Madhurya Dalit Anjana Chikkanam Indra Ninvani Kimva Nilotpani Ruchi Prabha Kimva Navyat Malapi Megha Punja Manoharam Prabha Marakata Kanti Peet. So description of complete Madan Mohanji is described there. The enchanter of Cupid. So Jaitar Sunto Pangur Mamamand Matil. Hey Madan Mohan. Oh Madan Mohan. I'm also troubled. We should pray to Madan Mohanji. I'm also in this world get troubled by Cupid. The attractions from every corner. Mamamanda Matir Gati. My mati, my intelligence is also very low. Therefore, please help me, Madan Mohan. Get me attracted only by you, and I can serve you. Oh Madan Mohan, please help me. So we pay our obeisances to Shri Radha Madan Mohan ji there, and we offer flowers and tulasi, and we just with our meditation and remembrance we offer to Madan Mohan ji this tulasi and flower. And also don't forget to put some donation in the donation box there and offer a ghee lamp and perform Arati to Madan Mohan. Jayo Jayo Radha Krishna Yugala Milan. Arati karo he lali tadi sakhi gan. Madana Mohana Rupa Tribhangu Sundara. Pitambara Shiki Puja Chuda Manohara. Songbook. In this way, yeah, the parikrama is not completed. After this, we went to Ashsaki Mandir. Yeah, down the Ashtasaki temple. Uh, Ashtasaki, the 8 prominent Sakis which serves Radharani.